Welcome to the Start to Be Great podcast. I'm your co-host, Kimmy.
And I'm Anna. And if you're anything like us and you're sick of using fear as an excuse to not truly live your life, you're in the right spot. We're here to tell you that you don't have to be great to start something, but you do have to
start to be great. So today we're talking about productivity and how we're actually going to be more productive in going towards our goals.
Yes, that is what we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
I feel like we're a little bit hypocritical.
I feel like we're just not we say it all the time. We don't want to be preachy, right? And we don't. We are actively progressing into being the best version of ourselves that we can be, and it is a process. It's a choice, and
with you guys.
we are trying to be the best, but we're not there yet. I don't know. You know, we're never going to get there, but like we're sharing what we've learned.
Yeah.
And we're trying to implement it in our own life.
Yeah, not everyone's going to read books and listen to podcasts and study and go to events and do all these things. So we are your funnel into all of the information that we're learning, and you're watching us fuck it up right before you and figure it out.
We are your guinea pigs, so that you can be like, that worked for them, let me try it.
Yeah. So if you don't know, we are in a book club, and we just started it a few months ago, and right now we're reading this book called The 12-Week Year. And it's a pretty good book for the first month of the year, I think, because it's literally planning out your goals in 12 weeks at a time. And if you listen to our New Year's Eve podcast, we talked about how next year we wanted to be more focused and clear on our vision, our path, and what steps to get there. And when I asked you what your quarter one goals were this morning, what did you say?
I said, I don't know.
And I was like, oh yeah.
In my defense, I'm just gonna backpedal a little bit. I have had a lot of changes in the last 2 weeks. We have implemented so much new shit in my life for the next. I'm adjusting. So what I thought was plans already in action was like, oh fuck no, you haven't even started.
Your ideas.
Yes. Yeah. And so now I'm realizing just how many steps it goes to even start something, which we are implementing those in right now. But I need to get more organized this way. It was very clear, made clear this morning.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both. I might know what my goals are more specifically because I have them written down, although I like how I rewrote them this morning. But I don't have the action steps planned out. I don't have them written down specifically in measurable ways. So the book talks about having a weekly accountability meeting, which I got so hyped on the other day when I read about it. I was like, oh my god, we need to do this.
I'm just I don't remember what I was doing. I was in the middle of a client, or I was I was just checking my phone, and I received this shared document from Anna Tyler that says accountability meeting Sunday morning, and I'm like, bet.
Well, the funny thing is okay, if you know me at all, before 3 weeks ago, I did not know what Google Docs was. I still barely know how to access my Google Drive or what it really is. Is it the same as the iCloud but different? I don't really understand.
It's like Google's version.
Yeah. I just started putting things on Google Calendar. Matthew, you'll be proud of me. And I actually really like them both. And it's funny because I was so stubborn, no, I like paper planners. Hold on, let me put it in my calendar really quick.
We would be out at the gym or something to be like, what are you doing on Saturday? And she was like, I don't know, I don't have my planner on me. And I was like, I know, that's why I said put it in your phone. And you were like, no, it's better on paper. And I was like, okay, but I'm showing you the reason right now why it's not.
It's one of those things that you don't really know what you are missing until you experience it.
Yeah.
So I succumb to the ways of the 21st century, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm on my Google game, and it's awesome. And so I was hyped, and I was like, I'm gonna make a Google Doc, and then I can share it. I just love that.
I love it too. No, I really was hyped when I saw it.
And what I did was I took what I liked from the book. So I haven't finished the book yet. I have 45 pages left. And I took the pieces that I liked, and I was like, let's just try these. Because I like the idea of looking only backwards 1 week. Bye, America. she's bored of our conversation. like the idea of looking back just 1 week and evaluating good or bad, how to go. And then, is there anything that you're carrying over into this week that you need to prioritize? And then I like the idea of kind of like picking your weekly goals versus having like a daily task. You know, I think that by doing all this experimenting and testing, I'm really learning a lot about like what works well for me and what doesn't. And I'm just like, I'm in permanent like testing mode. I'm like, nope, I don't like that. Because one thing I was doing was at night, my night routine was, I'm going to pick 5 things out today that I'm going to get done tomorrow. And that was like part of like 75 hard concept and it wasn't working. And then what would happen is the ones that didn't get finished were getting added to like this super long list of never ending things. And the thing is none of those things were really things that were going to bring me money or like move me forward. They were busy work. I mean, some of them were like, yeah, I need to get it done. But it's like, I don't need to do that right now. I don't need to prioritize it the way I had.
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely easy to make like a honey-do list, right? Like it's really easy to think about all the things that you need to do, like to vomit everything that you need to do onto one piece of paper. And I like to do lists like that because sometimes like things get lost in, you know, like I'll be in the middle of something and be like, I need to do that. And if I don't put it down, like it won't get done, you know? So I like having a big jumbled list like that. But what I notice is it's so easy to put it off. You know, like if you didn't finish it that day, you'd be like, oh, you know, that's just something I need to get done, but it doesn't have to be right now. And then weeks go by and I'm like, well, I still haven't done it, you know? And so I think it's really cool to have this separation between all of the shit I need to get done and what needs to be done this week.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. I was in a coaching group then, and I met my friend Emily in there, and that girl is like
Top
planning
tier.
queen.
Yeah.
I mean, she has like a journal for her whole year, and like it's insane. I'm like jealous. I don't necessarily want to be like that, but it's also like, I mean, that girl gets shit done. I think she's the same age as you, and she's like had multiple like very successful businesses, and like charges like $10,000 to build a website. Like she's crazy. She's doing shit like really good, and she has 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god. Okay. So, but she used to tell me, she's like, yeah, every Sunday I just map out my week, and I was like, you what? And I thought it was silly. Well, not necessarily like silly. I just didn't think that it applied to me. Maybe I was like, I don't need to do that. Like I can figure it out the way I'm doing it. But hello, like knock on my brain and it's hollow in there. It's not working because I'm not as productive as I think I am.
As you could be.
Yeah, as I could be.
Yeah.
Because I'm a multitasker.
I am too.
I'm so good.
I pride myself in the fact that I can do multiple things and think multiple things at once. Like I used to be really proud of like the fact that I could be cleaning my apartment and listening to something and scheduling clients and doing all this stuff like all at the same time. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so successful, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like
So good.
I'm so good. And I'm realizing, okay, yeah, I've started a million things, but did I complete them all?
Or were these things like actually important steps to get you forward?
Exactly.
I gotta say, so what we did today was we had our weekly accountability meeting, and we went through some questions and we planned out our goals for the quarter, and then we planned out action steps for the week.
I like how you said action steps because it's not just like things that you should be doing. You know, it's stuff like what can I do and complete.
And it doesn't mean the end goal is done.
Yeah.
It means this is a small step towards your goal. It makes it a
give an
lot less
example?
overwhelming. I can for you because, because I am really proud of you because you've been talking about these things for months.
I know.
So you started and mostly, like I would say 90% of the way, designed your business cards. You bought a domain today, and you linked it up with a website that you're testing out to see if you like it. Like those are 3 big things that like are actionable steps. They're little pieces of the bigger thing.
Yeah, find me vomiting in the corner. Like I'm overwhelmed, but it's fine because it's like chipping away at something big.
Exactly. You're climbing the mountain one step at a time, and you should be proud of what you got done today. Like for real, because I know that those things were not easy for you, and they're not done yet. But you took steps today to go forward, and that's what is the important part. And I think that takes away the feeling, or it should, as you do that consecutively, it should take away the overwhelmed feeling that we were both having the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably normal. We both have big goals and big things happening. And so I think the overwhelmed thing is like you look up at the mountain and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. But if you look down and you look at the step in front of you, it's easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's,
My dad always says, he was like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
yeah. I love that. I mean, it's very true. The multitasking and the reason that you got that stuff done today was because we cut out like the distractions and we said, okay, this is the couple things we're gonna do. And we I did my own stuff too.
Yeah.
Like I had a meeting with someone to help me better understand my Flowdesk app, and I updated my 3x5 cards that I'm gonna have printed, and I created some content for my social media page for this week with your help.
Yes.
And so like I got tasks completed today. Like the whole thing isn't done yet, but I actually took action moving forward. So I think that's the big thing. One of the things I learned after reading this book is I measure on did the job get done or did it not. I'm a very black and white person.
Me too.
And it has its perks, I guess. It's necessary in certain areas, but not in life, I don't think.
There's way too much gray in life.
There is. And, you know, like I am at a point in this business, I'm only 6 months in, and I'm not going to be finishing things like I want that. Like I don't honestly know how long it takes to do most of the stuff I want to do. So when I'm like, oh dang it, I didn't get this done or I'm not there yet, that's just stressing me out. And I don't need that.
Yeah.
And so what I do need is to like acknowledge what I've done and make sure that I'm on track, on pace to get the big things done.
Yeah.
And I think that you're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. If you only think about the things that haven't been completed yet, it's easy to get discouraged.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh dude, like they may not be done yet, but I started this, and this, like today, this morning. I started all of those things. And yeah, they won't be done for a little bit. Some of them will be done very soon, and those can be checked off and feel accomplished. But some of them, like, they're going to take more time. But when I'm looking at, like, what's in progress rather than what's completed, it's way more encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, as you, like, have bigger goals, like, the things that you want to get done are not going to be, like, done in a day. I don't know why my brain thinks that way. I'm like,
it's because we're in an instant gratification culture, myself included. I like instant gratification. I like doing things that I get rewarded from immediately. Like I'm in the stretch recovery business, right? If somebody comes to me, they tell me what's hurting or tell me what's tight, and then at the end of the session, they may not be like 100% better, but sometimes they are, and sometimes like they get on my table hurting and they get off feeling better, and that is instant gratification. That is what I like, and I really like that, and I think we're as a society instant gratification seekers.
Oh yeah, we for sure are. I mean, even just social media, like, and like Amazon, like just I want it and I want it now.
Yeah, no. If Amazon says they can't get it to me for like a week, I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
I'm like, well, I'm not buying it then. I need it tomorrow.
We ordered a Christmas present for someone and it still hasn't come in yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm about to cancel it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not for my friend, so it is what it is. But I'm just like, how would you? Yeah, we're just. It is. It's a mental. I think it's like a check-in with yourself. Paying attention to like what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Are you focusing on the end result, or are you focusing on what you're doing?
I think that's true. I think like in the haste of daily life, it's easy to not see the in between, like the in progress stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what surprised me a lot when we were going through our goals this morning was what our goals were. You were like, what are your top 3 goals right now for this quarter? And like I very quickly named off things that I wanted to get done. 3 things that I were like in the top of my head of these are my goals. This is what I want to get done. And what surprised me was like the differences in them. So like my top 3 goals, one had to do with my recovery business, one had to do with my online coaching that I just started up, and one had to do with my more like lifestyle, CrossFit type exercise goals. And I thought that was like a pretty good balance of like, yes, these are like, I'm pretty much, 75-25 business and lifestyle for like my goals in life. And like the majority of stuff I want to do is probably business oriented. What's going to propel me into my future career type stuff. And then the other type stuff is like, okay, this is what I want to be working on to make sure that I'm sane.
Right.
And I thought my goals aligned pretty well with that. But what shocked me was how easy it was to come up with business goals and how not so easy it was to come up with goals outside of business.
Yeah. I mean, I have here's the thing. I have goals for other stuff. They just aren't as important to me. And they don't bring me, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm still doing the things, like, for example, one of my personal goals for my sanity is to compete in some more trail ride competitions and to learn more horsemanship skills. Because I want to buy a horse now. I'm a horse girl. Anyway, I realize how far out in the future it is for me to actually physically have my own horse. Just because I don't have the property to place it on, and I don't want to, like, I don't know, logistically speaking anyway. And so I'm still doing the things, but it doesn't make it's not as much of a priority to me right now to like make it into my top,
like the forefront of your mind.
3 things. If I have to pick 3 things to focus on this quarter, because the reality for me is if I don't reach my business goals, that personal goal ain't coming true. Like, I won't be buying and paying for a horse if I'm not making enough money to afford it. And so I think that's why that all of my goals for this quarter were business goals. And the thing, you also don't want more than like 3. Like, that's a lot of.
I think that's my problem is I have so many avenues that I want to achieve in, and that's why last year I didn't achieve as many things as I wanted to. It's because I wasn't targeted, more. I don't know how to say it. Like, I wasn't as focused on 1 or 2 really big goals. I was focused on 10 really big goals, and I got not 10 done.
Right. But if you focus on like 2 per quarter or 3 per quarter, 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 8 things you're giving your full energy in during the time that you're doing it. So, like, say first quarter you're doing those 3 things, and then if you get those accomplished, then you can change your goals. You'll still be maintaining those, but you won't have to work as hard to do the action steps to reach it. You know what I mean? That would be my goal. Is my goal is my goal. Just fucking goalception here.
I love it.
So yeah, I think that they're supposed to change.
Yeah.
I heard someone the other day. He was talking about the New Year, New Me crap, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, no, New Year, new goals. And he was just like, of course it's going to be like a new you in a sense. Like, it's still the same person, but like, you're changing.
Yeah.
If you're setting goals, you're changing. If you're not setting goals, you're not changing.
Yeah.
So, one of the other things I learned from this book that I really liked is, and it comes from the multitasking, is the concept of time blocks. And this is
What is a time block?
This is not a new concept. I've heard of this before, but you know how, like, when you hear something, you don't really hear it, and you're like not paying attention, you don't think it's applicable to you, or like you don't care, so you just like don't give it any thought. So a time block is like, let's say I'm gonna allow myself 5 hours this week to work out.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 10 hours strictly on like marketing, and that's spaced out throughout the week. I'm gonna spend this many hours on actually roasting and doing the physical job of my business, roasting, packing, shipping, coffee. So allotting yourself time and then not letting anything into that time. I really like that idea because, like, back to the multitasking, this book calls us out so hard, dude. And I mean, it's just a book. Like, who's to say that they're right or wrong?
Opinions.
But I feel like, we've talked about, like, are you being busy or are you being productive? And it's like, multitasking makes me feel busy. It does not make me feel productive. And so the time block thing, it's like, hey, if I can just put my freaking cell phone in the other room and not look at it for 2 hours and like only spend time on my computer doing the shit I need to get done, or only spending my time on my garage roasting or whatever it is I need to do. I know, I've already seen it. I've experimented with it enough to know that it works. But the tricky part is, so we tested it this morning. We put our phones in my living room and we were chilling at my dining table. And both of us multiple times, like I physically reached out to grab my phone multiple times. Why?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't even, like one thing I wanted to show you on my phone, sure. But I was like, I don't need it right now. It's like instinct. Like we for sure are addicted to those damn things.
Yeah.
And, you know, both of us run our businesses from our phones. Like, it's kind of hard not to be on them. But if you can give yourself times where you don't have it near you to distract you. Because I remember, like, what was it? It was after I did 75 Hard, or maybe while I was doing it last year, I changed my Instagram notifications so I didn't have them come to the screen. And it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. The notifications aren't what draw me to my phone. I'm still, now I've conditioned myself that I still am curious and I still want to know if there's a notification on my phone. Because I don't get texts.
Oh, like, I have to have the notifications on.
Well, because
I'll check it more if I don't have the notifications on.
Oh yeah. Well, and maybe I should change it back. I don't know. But I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. So I think that the key is to setting a time block where like, hey, during this time, like I'm not reachable. Yeah. You know what's funny about all that? What? So, what year was it? 2019, I went to Scotland, and dude, the last night of my trip, my phone was stolen, right? My phone that had my license and my debit card in the phone case, because I am one of those people that has a phone case, that's my wallet. Not anymore, but I used to for like years. And that was the only time it was ever stolen, so whatever. It was stolen the last night we were out at a bar, and my roommate and friend, she was hanging out with these British dudes, and they were licking elbows. It was really weird. Did you know that if you lick someone's elbow and they don't know that you're licking it, they can't feel it?
Well, yeah.
Did I tell you the story?
No, but I did that when I was like 11.
Yeah, well, these guys were drunk and they were, what's it called? The British version of a bachelor party, a stag party. I think is what it's called. Stag
party.
Yeah.
I like it.
Stag is like
you have lost me though. Where's the story going?
So, when I got my phone stolen, obviously while I was traveling, I was stressed out. Because like, I was the one that had like Ubers and the Airbnbs all set up, my flights and all the stuff. I still have my passport, so it wasn't a big deal. And I just Venmo'd her when I got home, like the difference. So, but when I got home, I was trying to get my phone covered under warranty or whatever, which it was, but you have to wait. Like, I didn't get a phone like that day. Like, they had to get one shipped from wherever, Apple. And so I didn't have a cell phone for 10 days.
Oh my God.
What I had was, I had an old iPhone that I used Wi-Fi with. So you could only message me when I was on Wi-Fi. So when I was at home or work. But if I wasn't at those places, I wasn't reachable.
That's cool.
For the first 3 days, I was like anxious as fuck. I was like, oh. I was like, oh my God, I have to use my memory to find out where I'm going.
My
I'm like,
memory.
oh my God. Like seriously, I'm one of those people that I put my map, unless I'm going like somewhere in town, I put my like my maps on just so I know the time.
That used to bother me when people did that. Like really bad, and now I get that people use it for like an ETA. Because I'm the kind of person, like if I move to a different town, I will force myself to learn the roads by mapping myself somewhere, and then I will not let myself map until I get home. Like if I get lost, okay, yeah, of course. But like I will try to retrace my steps back so I actually learn where I'm at.
Yeah, it's not about where I'm going, it's about the time.
Yeah.
But I don't really need it because I already have the times memorized too. It's just, I think it's just a habit.
But it also helps because GPSs have like road conditions now too.
Sure.
Like oh, there's an accident type shit, you know, like.
It's just, it's not necessary. It's just another thing I'm addicted to doing.
Yeah, but you didn't have that when you didn't.
I didn't.
With the phone because you
So I didn't have it.
Wi-Fi.
And dude, I was in heaven on day 4.
Yeah.
I was so happy that my phone was not, like, I wasn't able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it made me feel really good. I was like, I'm driving and nobody can call me right now. And it felt nice. And I was like, dang. So the whole point of that is, like, I feel like there's that little uncomfortable feeling when you start maybe doing a time block where, like today, we were itching to grab our phones because we're just used to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like the more we do it and more we implement it into our lives, that it will be
I think
better.
it'd be great. Yeah.
Because I think our society, we're just overstimulated.
I know I am.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like we talked about multitasking, and you're like multitasking being busy. Like the thing is that I feel like I don't feel like when I am busy I feel productive. Even if I'm not being productive, if I'm busy I feel productive. You know, and so then it takes me actually checking to whether or not like I got productive shit done to be if I was productive. But like as long as my schedule's packed, I'm succeeding, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what we were talking about. So the very beginning of our weekly accountability meeting, we were like, "How was our week last week?" And both of us were like, "It was all right. It was all right." We were busy. We both did a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But our businesses did not move forward as much as they could. And we had a whole week, and then here we are today. We already got like good chunks of stuff done. So
Yeah.
I think that I'm really enjoying this book and some of the tools. I don't know that I will do the whole 12-week year process, but I'm going to try it and see if it works for me. That's again, the beauty is taking what you like from other things and just testing it out.
Yeah.
Because they have done studies that say that multitasking is not effective.
Oh, I can see why. I mean, literally, I grabbed my phone while we were doing our the meeting this morning. I grabbed my phone to show you something, and then I started answering clients on my phone, and you were like, "See, you're multitasking." And I was like, "Wait, what did you say for the last 5 minutes? Because I don't know."
I was like, "Dude, I was like, you're doing it right now."
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
And I'm like, and I didn't even know. That's the thing is, I didn't even know.
I know.
Until you were like, "Hey, bro."
Well, you've come over before, and like our goal is to like get shit done, and like I'll still be like finishing up dishes or whatever, and I'll like look over at you, and you're like in your phone, and I'm like, "Kimmy, are you lost?" And you're like, "Oh shit, yep, I got sucked in," and I'm like, "Yep, I can tell."
And I feel productive because I'm not just on Instagram scrolling. You know, like I'm doing things. I'm talking to people. I'm actively doing things on my phone. Like I'm not just bullshitting. But it's so easy for me to lose an hour just doing things that need to get done, but like could be done later.
Yeah, the honey-do list that you called it. And that's the thing is like, I want to start time blocking for that shit.
Yeah.
Like give myself like an hour a day to like knock out a couple of those tasks.
Me too. I want a time block to answer people on my phone. Like if you open up my phone at any part of the day, like
it hurts my life.
My notifications, like I like my notifications being on because if they aren't on, they will never be addressed. Like if I don't have my notifications, I'll never respond to you. Like I'm not very good at responding right now on my phone to like social type texts. Like I have probably like if I open my phone right now, I have 22. I could see it on my computer here. I have 22. But like sometimes it gets like way up there. Like
I've seen it.
It's like bad. And so it's not that I don't want to answer those texts. It's in my head. I'm like I can't answer those right now. I am delegating this time to something else, and so I cannot answer those right now. And then I just never get back to that. But I do want the people that are texting me to feel like they're priority in my life because they are, and so I want to answer the text. I want to at least emote things, you know, like I want to like send a heart if you sent me a nice message, you know. I want to at least acknowledge the shit going on, and so I do need to make that like a priority. And so I think
but people, I mean, if you're listening, like it's not personal.
Not at all.
But I think that another part of that is, you know, we've talked about boundaries a little bit, and it's like you are setting up a boundary where you're focusing on what needs to get done for the most part, like your business, but also like communicating to your friends. Like I know that when I text you, I may not get a response, and I don't take it personally. If it's something that I need a response from, I will send like a easy message, like, "Hey, please confirm." Like I'll be direct, and I'm like, "Hey, it's tomorrow at 5. Yes or no?" And I make it very simple for you to respond because it's not like a, "Hey, what do you think? Like, would you want to do this?" Or like, you know, like maybe next week sometime. And it's like next week sometime doesn't exist for you. And
next Wednesday at 5 does though, and I can check my schedule and be like, yes, I do have that time slot. Or no, hey, how about Thursday too?
Right.
Like that's
Exactly.
easier for me to navigate for sure.
So maybe part of that is
Communicating.
as you set aside your time
Mhm.
teaching your people, hey, I need you to give me like tell me exactly when, because you do a lot of activities with friends. Like
Mhm.
I think you have a pretty good balance of work and fun.
I try.
But there's other times that you could make it work, but you don't have the brainwave, it feels like, most of the time to do the planning portion of it.
Yeah.
But you can agree to something if someone already has it set up.
Yeah.
So there's that. um, so,
There's some I want to talk about.
yeah, hit it.
So you invited me to have the accountability meeting on the weekend, and I love that. I hope we implement it, forever. But my thing is, if somebody doesn't have an accountability partner, how to be, self-disciplined? How do you hold yourself accountable?
Yeah. So that's kind of like, so Emily, my friend that I was talking about for the Lions Den, she does that on her own every single week.
Yeah.
Now, she is gung-ho crazy girl. Love you. And that's just like, I feel like that's a skill that, honestly, I don't know if it came naturally to her or if she worked really hard at it. Either way, she's good at it now.
It's a skill, you have to practice.
Well, but some things just come naturally to some other people, So, she does it by herself. And like, we were talking today and like our weekend next weekend is so busy that we probably won't have this meeting next weekend. And I think the thing is one, I would recommend if you want to do something like that to read this book because it helps you like break your goals down in like bite-sized pieces. And honestly, it gave me the prompts for the meeting that we had today. And I really like that. I didn't make them up. And it tells you it's like 30 minutes. So schedule an appointment with yourself and set out your week plan. Like that's as simple as it is. And if you want to read the book and get the prompts straight from there, go for it. If you want to DM me and have me screenshot you the page on the book, I can do that too. Like, if you don't want to read the whole thing, but yeah, I think it's important to do it by yourself.
Or if you have like a good buddy, hit them up.
It doesn't need to be in person either.
Yeah.
You could do it on the phone. You could FaceTime or Zoom, and it doesn't need to be more than 30 minutes.
Yeah. Just tell your goals and then remember theirs and see like midweek if you're like, hey, I wonder if Anna got that shit done. I'm gonna text her.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be on Sunday. It can be on Monday. A lot of this book talks about businesses and how they're going to implement it down to their team. And so they talk about how they have a Monday morning meeting, which people usually already have. So like if you work in an office or work somewhere where you already have a meeting, why don't you go back to your desk and do this either right before or right after? Like it's, especially if it's your work goals, it is related, and you can probably get work stuff done in like 15 minutes. It doesn't even take that long. And that could be beneficial. Yeah, I think, it seems easier to rely on someone else, but the reality is like, you don't care more about my goals than I care about my goals. Like, you want me to win, yeah, and you're very supportive, but like, you got your own shit. So like, it's almost like we're not really, when we showed up today, like, we're not really helping each other, more so is like, we're like driving down a really fast lane together and we're like bumping next to each other, just making sure we both stay straight and no one stops. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's nice to have, but it's not needed.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
You have to learn. I think if you want to be successful, you have to learn to do it yourself. Yeah. Although, I mean, it's good to have people to count on and to reach out to. But if you don't have someone to meet with weekly, maybe you call someone that you trust and you talk to them once a month, even, and you say, hey, like, can I just like talk through ideas? It's so good to just talk things out loud to someone else that might be able to give you like their opinion or feedback. Just make sure it's someone that doesn't suck. You know,
for sure.
Someone that like you actually think that they would give you reasonable, honest advice. Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And I think it's also, if you do get an accountability partner, it's really, in case you do need help with stuff, like like if you are in person, like this morning, you said we filmed content,
Yeah.
for your stuff. Like if you have these goals, like if you have these meetings, like there is stuff like if you do need somebody to do it and it's quick, just at that accountability meeting or whatever, it's easy. Like if you have that partner, it's easy to get little shit done that you
Right.
couldn't do by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a reason why I wanted you to take that image today for me, the picture, was because I don't know when I'm going to see you this week because we're
Yeah.
both busy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, let's just go do it real quick.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And when you stack them up like that, it's so easy to knock the little shit out. Whereas if we had done it like, can you meet me, Wednesday, like that's a completely different meeting, like type thing. Whereas when we're already knocking shit out, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
So.
I have really, this was an easy transition for us. We were already going to go to those meetings on Sunday in person. And so this was like a really nice transition for us to just do this little meeting and planning session. But I really like it because I feel good going into the week.
Me too.
Having
Feel ready.
thought about what I'm going to get done. Because like, if you wait till Monday morning, sometimes you're already like, go.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that idea. I know in the book they even said that some people do it Friday afternoon. They'll plan out their next week so that way it's ready. And maybe if your Sunday is busy, some people don't want to work on Sunday, and that's totally reasonable. But you just have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
But it does make me feel, it builds momentum. If you can make yourself sit down for 30 minutes and like plan out your week, it builds a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's really it. I mean, this week, one of the things I really want to do is do those time blocks.
Yep.
And I'll report back and let you know how they help.
Yeah, I hope so. I want you guys to challenge yourself and ask yourself what you guys are doing throughout the week. Is it productive or are you just busy?
Right.
Are you making goals and achieving them, taking steps to achieve them? And because that's something I learned recently about myself, is I thought I was organized. I thought, because I do get a lot of shit done. I'm a busy person, and
Right.
I do get a lot of shit done.
Busy.
being the key word there is I'm very busy, but am I productive? Somewhat. I mean, I get my shit done, but like, could I be more productive? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we are busy people with productive moments in time.
Yeah.
And I would rather be
Productive people.
Yeah.
With busy moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Well, honestly, I think, I think that a lot of people use excuses. And one of the excuses I hear a lot of is, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And the reality is that there's people that are doing far more work every single day that have the same amount of hours in their day. Maybe they have no children, or maybe they don't have a spouse, or whatever. Maybe they have a shorter commute to work, or work. Things are variable for sure, but they still get stuff done. And I think that when you find out how to be more productive, you have more free time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I want.
Yeah.
Is I'd rather make the most of my time. I'd rather work like 30 hours a week, just straight to the bone, not paying attention to any other bullshit, than 75 and get half as much done, but have like a bunch of food in between,
Yeah.
like.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
because that's how it is right now. That's like actually probably a pretty accurate description. Like, probably working like 70-hour weeks, but like a bunch of bullshit in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Not fun. All right. Well, if you have questions about the book or want to know some good podcasts that we listen to help with more ideas, please reach out to us because we want to interact with you guys some more. We encourage you and like actually want you to talk to us and view us as resources. Like I've been in multiple group coaching courses. I was in Rob Bailey's coaching group called Clear, Calculated, Ambitious. And then I was in Sean Whalen's coaching group called Lion's Den. I've gone to Apex meetups, $1 Million Mastermind. I've gone to Lion's Den Live. And now I have a one-on-one business coach with Ryan Robbins. Like I'm learning a lot of tools and trying things out as I see them. But I would love to talk to people about it. So if y'all have questions, and Kimmy she's running businesses, being a youngin' and already like way ahead of so many people and it's awesome. So she has her own set of skills that she's learned by doing all the crazy shit she's done in her life so far. So we would love to talk to you guys. The Start to Be Great podcast Instagram page is the main place where we would love to reach out and talk to you. Because, as stated previously, if y'all DM Miss Kimmy on her personal one, she may not respond to it. If it's something that you want to talk to us about podcast relation-wise, like hit us up on that one.
Yeah.
If it's, you just want to slide in the DMs, then go for the... I'm just kidding. Don't do that. She's got no comment. I just saw the glare. If you're on YouTube right now, you saw her just mean mug the shit out of me. She's like, why would you say that?
Don't encourage it. I'm just kidding.
No, if you do that, I'm gonna kick your ass.
But yeah, what's our handle for Start to Be Great?
It's just Start to Be Great podcast on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I hope you guys have a good week and you go out and kill it.
We will post this a Monday morning at 6 a.m. Why so early? Because we're fucking sharks, and sharks don't give a damn that it's Monday.